Hello, I'm Stone Oak Valley and welcome to the next episode of Unpacking My Treasures. So if you haven't watched episode 1, you should check that out if you want. Since this is like a general intro I use for all the other episodes, I have no idea what box I'm at. So you have to check the title or whatever. So let's just go straight to the case and unpack the next box. Hello and welcome to episode 16 of Unpacking My Treasures. So today we're going to look at the Amiga CD32. And the first item is, I burnt all the true Amiga CD32 games. And I think it's about 156-ish or something. There are several numbers out there, but I only wanted to focus on the pure Amiga CD32 releases, so this is what I ended up with, because there was a numerous compatible titles with Amiga, Commodore CDTV, but yeah, I burnt all of them just because I want them as authentic as possible. And here is the actual Amiga CD32. Now, the Amiga CD32 story for me is quite weird and frustrating. So I bought it originally in April 1994, and I did find a certificate, like the warranty certificate. But when I started to search for the actual machine, I could not find it in my parents' house, and I couldn't really remember what the heck happened to it. And about 2 years ago, I started investigating, trying to find digital clues in my software, backups from the Amiga 1200, looking through all my paper, which I collected since basically I started working at 17 years of age. And it ended up in this massive project just to figure out a single clue, just a written note or a note somewhere, or when I started making movies or just experimenting with the camera in 90 or 91, trying to find it somewhere, like so I could pinpoint some kind of date. And it was really hard, and I did find some scripts that I made in 94 and 95, and I also upgraded basically I bought the CD32 not to play on it. I wanted to use this as a CD-ROM for the Amiga 1200. So I bought a communication device, and I hooked it up, and I mounted some stuff in my Amiga workbench, and I can access this from, Opus, Directory Opus and stuff like this. So it was basically just put aside. But of course I tried the demos that follow it. I bought some demo CDs back then. But anyway, the story is so convoluted and big, and until this date, even about almost a year, I made a movie about this. It was called The Hunt of Amiga CD32. It was so massive, and I ended up buying this on eBay for my 50th birthday last summer, because I could not figure out of it. Did I sell it? Did I give it away? Did I damage it? Or is it in parts in my parents' house, hidden beyond stacks of everything? Anyway, you can watch that movie. Now we're going to talk about this. So I bought this on eBay, and it's working. It was really good condition. And this one is manufactured in August 1993. My original one I figured out was manufactured in September 93. But I also bought one of these TF328, I think it's called. So this is like an expansion. So I have possibility to use SSD inside, so I can boot it up like a hard drive. Yeah, but I really love this machine much more now than I did then. But then again, I really loved the Amiga CD32 because it was my way of accessing CDs. In '96 I bought some kind of squirrel device, and then I kind of hooked up a SCSI CD-ROM to that. Then this one kind of faded away in '96 or so, at least for my personal use. Yeah, and this is just a continuation of all the Amiga CD32 games, so not much to see there. And of course it will continue. It's the same deal. I burnt all of them. So let's check this one. So these are, yeah, this is actually the leftovers and some CD TV test just to experiment. Yeah, this is just a continuation because it didn't fit inside the other folders. And yeah, and this is the demo disc. I don't have the demo disc, and that is super frustrating because in that movie, The Hunt for Amiga CD32, I went into detail on there must be a version 1.0 of this demo CD that follow every CD32. They also made 2.0 and 1.1, and these are documented online, but I'm pretty sure, and I actually found the file list for the previous CD that 1.1 was based on. And I don't know how long that version 1 or whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure I got it in my CD32 back in the day. But nobody seems to be able to find it, so that is a true mystery. So if you have an Amiga CD32 from August or September, that's where they came out. They only produced, 80,000 of these or something before Commodore went bankrupt. But yeah, if you do have an Amiga CD32, please check what version you have, because if you have 1.0, I mean, it has to be preserved, and I can rest my skull on this irritation. But yeah, I burnt also the Communicator 2 CD and a couple of Amiga CD32 cover disc for magazines that I do remember I bought, and I did a review of that, very honest review in my hunt for the Amiga CD32. And some of the public domain discs I used to have, and also some testing I did, some video creator, and some some installation efforts for the hard drive and everything. Yeah, and I did get the original power supply, and this is working great, so I'm really happy with that. And then there's a magic box. I hope it's not a nuclear device or anything. Yeah, so this is just a collage, so maybe we will pick out one by one. So this is the famous joypad for the CD32. Many people hate this, but I kind of like it. Well, I didn't play much games on the CD32 anyway, but I never thought this was any bad, and I don't feel that it's any bad today. So I'm really happy that I also got this, because people would probably throw it or something. Yeah, just a regular composite RCA video cable. Yeah, this is actually an item I bought just a couple of weeks ago, because I don't have a keyboard for the CD32, so all my testing was done without a keyboard. I used an on-screen keyboard or something, or I scripted stuff and I burnt the CD, and then I could do magic this way. So I bought this on eBay, and it works really great. So I did it a little bit differently, because the Excel or the expansion card doesn't have the PS2, and I also have read online that if you're going to use the serial port, which shares the keyboard originally in the CD32, it will conflict with the PS2 port on that Terrible Fire card. And of course I wanted to recreate everything just like it was back in the day, so I was this is just a hatch because it's removed now. I installed the hard drive, and this is not the actual item from my days because I lost everything, but I managed to find this online shortly after I bought the CD32 last year. I found it on a Norwegian auction site. It was a little bit mangled and damaged and things like this. Some ports were kind of half loose. So I 3D printed some stuff and I did a bunch of stuff inside here just to improve the overall design. I made an extension, so this one goes into the CD32 on the side, because there's an aux, over there, if you can see it. And what I will usually do is I plug this into the CD32, and this one also got MIDI, so MIDI in, out, and through. And this is for the actual serial communications. I did also test that in my video, made it work, boosted up the speed, and transfer was really okay. But the main thing here is that I wanted to connect the keyboard to this unit and not directly, because I want to have the benefit of serial communication as well as this, because that was my setup. But I didn't have the keyboard option back then. So if you look at this, it has actually a keyboard for, I guess it's for Amiga 2000 and Amiga 4000. I don't have such a keyboard, and today they are super expensive, probably as expensive as the console itself. So what I did is bought an Amiga 2000. So if you have an Amiga 2000, you can actually use this and plug it in, and then you put a standard PS2 keyboard inside here. That's what I did. Now it's accepting an Amiga 2000 keyboard, but of course I fake it with a PS2 keyboard. And I tested 3 keyboards, all of them works. So that was really a game changer, or a CD changer. It worked really great. So finally I have a complete setup now. I got sound, I got serial communication, I got the CD working, and a hard drive. And I have a keyboard, of course, mouse and joypad is supported. This is just a video cable, and then it turns into a SCART. This is just a super VHS cable, because it also has that as an output. This is the actual serial cable that I had to make my own, I think. No, actually this followed the communicator. This was just a MIDI connector I used just to test the MIDI also on it. And this is just the RF signal antenna. And the box is now empty. And what do you know? All boxes are empty. So no, this was truly, I'm really happy to be able to just have this in my hands again. I wished it was my original, because the original would have the communicator, it will have all the manuals and possibly the packaging. It will of course have the gamepad and cables and all of this. It will also have whatever version I had of the demo CD. And I believe also, yes, there was also Diggers and Oscar. So there was like a game that followed this version that I bought here in Norway. And I think that was it. And of of course, there were a couple of magazines I bought. I lost the magazines a long time ago, but the CD is also lost, including the CD CD. So I wonder if I really put everything in a box and then I basically sold it online somewhere in 97 or 98. But the weird thing is that I have emails from that time, backup of emails from 97 or 96, and I can find my Amiga 1200 selling, or all the accessories selling. I even find these things in Google groups online where I posted advertisement for selling, and then people discussing, and people bought it, and I managed to sell everything. But for some reason the word CD or 32 is not mentioned in any of the Google groups that has my Demonoid production name on it. Commodore 64 is there, it's Amiga, everything. But any mention of CD32, I can't find anything. So yeah, I'm still looking, still trying to find out of that mystery. But as a suitable replacement, I can live with this. Pretty good condition and everything here is working. So yeah, I'm gonna have so much fun with Amiga CD32. It's part of my childhood or teenage years. I was 20 years old when I bought it, so I guess, yeah, I was kind of a teenager. Turned 20 that year, so yeah. Yeah, but that was the Amiga CD32 episode, or episode 16, so I will see you again in episode 17.